Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building as always, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. On my way to go get it as always, man. I hope y'all doing the same. On the road to 2K, we're about to crack that 1,200 mark, man. Thank you to the nation. Thank you to the mob for making this possible. Check out MazumaMerch.com, man. Get you a crew neck, get you a hoodie, get you a shirt, tank top, get you a coffee mug, get you a sticker. You know what I'm saying? Support the brand, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. What I want to speak about today is Bomac McIntyre, his reaction to the whole situation with Boots becoming the IBF world champion and his fighter Terrence Crawford being stripped of the title. You know what I'm saying? That's probably been the biggest headline in boxing these last few days. And there's been a lot of debate about it, whether it was deserved or not for Terrence Crawford to get stripped. Some people believe that he wasn't going to fight Boots anyway, so why hold up the division and just let Boots start his era at 147 pounds. There's other people that believe that Terrence Crawford didn't have the belt long enough to even make a fight with Jaron Ennis possibly. There's some people that feel like it was justified because he caught up in a rematch clause and will most likely move up to 54. There's a whole bunch of different takes on the situation, and neither one of them are wrong. You know what I'm saying? However, there was something that Bomac said, a few things that he said throughout the course of this interview that caught my attention, and that's for the most part, they don't know exactly. He gave an update on the Spence and Crawford rematch, and he said that they still negotiating on, they still trying to figure out what weight they're going to be fighting at. So for sure, so one thing we know, that it's possible that they could be rematching at 147 pounds, right? But there's also a possibility that he'll be going up to 54, and I know once Crawford goes up to 54, he's not coming back down. So if it's a case where he's at 154, then there's no need for him to continue having the IBF title or any other belts. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you just vacate him, let these guys grab him, and continue having a 147-pound division moving. You know what I mean? Another thing he said that caught my attention was that he said that Jaron Ennis still doesn't bring anything to the table, regardless of having whether he has the IBF title or not. You know what I'm saying? He said they could take away the IBF title, but one thing they can't take away is history. And I'm sure he's referring to becoming undisputed world champion, which is true. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that out. That's written in the history books when it's all said and done. First male fighter to be two-time undisputed. You know what I'm saying? That's something historical, and he's going to be named with the greats at the end of the day. So I understand what he's talking about. However, with him saying Jaron Ennis doesn't bring anything to the table, after this Earl Spence rematch, I'm very intrigued to see exactly who Terrence Crawford is going to fight. Because in all honesty, if you go in the direction of it has to be a bigger fight than Jaron Ennis. There's no way that you could fight a guy like Tim Tszew's a good fight. He's a WBO champion. Jermell Charlo and Canelo. I really feel like those are the three fights that that Terrence Crawford could take that could be over Jaron Ennis. It's like, all right, I understand this fight. You know what I'm saying? I understand this fight. This is a bigger fight than Jaron, so we're going to fall back and just enjoy the bout. You know what I'm saying? But every fight from now on in Terrence Crawford's career, all the way until his retirement, has to be more meaningful than Boots, because there's no way you're going to be able to come out your neck and say that Jaron Ennis doesn't bring anything to the table, and at this point in career, and Bomac said it, at this point in his career, Terrence Crawford could pick and choose whoever he wants to fight, and if nobody like it, we don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? So he's telling you exactly, and he's Terrence Crawford's manager as well, from what I understand, trainer and manager. So that's Terrence Crawford's manager telling you that at this point in his career, Terrence Crawford is picking and choosing his opponents. And the fighter, I'm assuming, has to bring something to the table. You know what I'm saying? And being that Jaron Ennis has the IBF world title, I guess it's not enough, man. I guess it's not enough. And it's crazy because Terrence Crawford didn't like when they gave him that type of treatment. You know what I'm saying? When he came up at 147, Keith Thurman, who was the unified world champion at the time, said, Terrence Crawford don't bring nothing to the table. He need to get a belt first. And Terrence Crawford, he still has a grudge against Keith Thurman to this day. He even said, like, yo, when I was coming up at 147, y'all didn't want to give me a shot. Now that I'm the top dog of the division, I ain't going to give y'all shit. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he has a grudge against Keith Thurman for how the way he was treating him when he came in the welterweight. And it seems like Terrence Crawford and his team is taking the same approach with Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand how you could dislike somebody for doing that to you in your career, But now when you're on top, you're doing the same thing to Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? So now Jaron Ennis has the IBF world title, and now he has to prove, despite being a world champion, he still has to prove that he actually brings something to the table and that he's a notable name in the division. So it's an unfortunate situation, but that was my whole reaction to Bomac's opinion on being stripped by the IBF and Jaron Ennis being the world champion. Still saying that Jaron Ennis doesn't bring anything to the table. It's unfortunate, but it doesn't seem like this is a fight that we're going to be getting anytime soon because they're simply just not interested. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is from here on out, every fight that Terrence Crawford has, according to his statements, had to be an opponent that brings something to the table, because if not, it's going to look like you ducking, man. That's just my personal opinion, man. I don't think Terrence Crawford is scared of nobody. You know what I mean? I think he's one of the most competitive guys in the division. That man is fearless. He's a dog. Pound for pound, #1 best fighter in the world. Don't get it wrong. But every fight from now on has to be an opponent that's more valuable in terms of like financial gain and popularity than Jaron Ennis. Because if not, you're going to look silly. There's no way that you can say Jaron Ennis don't bring something to the table, and then, like, for example, you fight somebody like fucking let's see, who's the top 54 dude, and then you go and you fight Sebastian Fundora. Now, is that fight gonna happen? Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, there's no way you can fight anybody that's below Jaron Ennis' status in terms of like popularity or just being a draw or whatever. You know what I mean? Now, I know David Evanesians or, you know what I mean, guys like that. Because from this point on, it got to be somebody that's of value. You know what I mean? No tune-ups, nothing like that. No getting feet wet at 54. And at this particular time, I honestly feel like, and I know he has a rematch clause, so he's contractually obligated to do so. I think that Jaron Ennis is a hotter fight than the Errol Spence rematch at this time. You know what I'm saying? Now, the first fight, hell no. That was a mega fight in itself. But because Terrence Crawford dominated so easily in that fight, don't nobody want to see the rematch. I never heard anybody that said, I want to see that rematch. You know what I'm saying? And if it was usually like a big Errol Spence fan that's just low-key in denial about things. You know what I'm saying? Blaming it on the weight or whatever. But I think as of right now, at this particular time in boxing, I believe that the Jaron Ennis fight with Terrence Crawford is a bigger fight than the rematch with Errol Spence right now. That's just my personal opinion on the situation. Let me know what y'all think about this right here, man. That's my take on this whole topic. Bomac says Jaron Ennis still doesn't bring anything to the table. Is he capping? They just don't want the fight. Is this a hot fight for you? Do you think there's better fights out there? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. This is Mazuma TV. Thank you for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.